This is a HeadGum podcast.
You got mail.
Hi, I'm Elise Morales.
And I'm Millie Tamaris.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Millie and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can go do literally anything else with your time.
And if you like what you hear today and want to hear more, we got a Go Touch Grass Patreon already up with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series, Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. Our last one...
We were off last week for Thanksgiving.
We were off last week,
so the most recent one is Queen of Book Talk.
And we were talking about Queen of Book Talk, and someone DM'd us and was like, am I going to still like her? And I'm like, there's nuance to the situation. She's like, I'll wait until Queen of Book Talk stops reviewing the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm still watching the Deathly Hallows reviews from Queen of Book Talk. I still like her, and I did the episode.
Yeah,
so...
and, you know, like for me, after I did the Jeffree Star episode, that's
very different.
Get
that's
him away
very
from
different.
Me.
He tased people.
He tased the homeless guy. He tased the homeless
Queen
guy.
of Book Talk is not doing any of that.
No.
She made one kind of big mistake.
Yeah.
But and you can hear all about it on our Patreon.
She without sin.
Exactly.
Throw the first hockey puck.
Exactly. Well, and you'll understand that reference.
Exactly.
If you get on the Patreon. Guys, and don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love reviews. We need more of them. But really, the best review you can give is to tell your friends about us. Tag us in a story. We'll repost it. We're always online. If you get those Spotify Wraps that are like, I listened to Go Touch Grass as one of my top 5 podcasts. Please tag us in one of those. Please, for the love of God, tag us in one of those.
And you won't be seeing my top 5 because Go Touch Grass might be.
I know when you have a podcast of your own, it is like, wow, you really love this podcast. And I'm like
I listen for sound quality.
Yeah. I listen to make sure that I didn't fuck up something.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Or like, wow, I really had to stop interrupting people.
Or just learning, whatever. Anyway, guys, editing your own voice is
hard.
It's hard and it's a trip.
Also, for our holiday episode, we're doing a mailbag. So if you have any questions for us personally, anything you want us to research or talk about, or anything at all, feel free to email us at gotouchgrasspod@gmail.com or DM us on any of our socials, and we might choose your question for the show. We're getting really good questions.
We are.
Did you see the one that was like, what's Millie's lore with game shows, and why did 2 people get stabbed at your 19th birthday party?
These are great questions.
These are questions that will be answered
questions
on the holiday.
that we can answer.
Yes.
And if you want to see us live, guys, this is our last bit of housekeeping, and then we're getting to the episode.
From URL to IRL.
From URL to IRL. That's so true. You can see us hosting UCB New York's annual It Sucked Awards, December 29th at 7 p.m. We'll have some of our favorite comedians handing out awards to just like the suckiest shit of 2024. Tickets are $15, and you can find them on sale now at the UCB New York website. So Millie and I will be hosting the show. People are going to do characters, bits, fun stuff. If you're in the city between Christmas and New Year's, you should come out.
Yes, please come out wherever you are. Speaking of out, we have a special guest.
Oh my God.
Speaking of out, we have a special guest here in the studio with us, fresh off hosting yet another incredible Thanksgiving feast with me as his sous chef. He's a comedian and writer whose work you've seen on The New Yorker and on late night indie darling Late Stage Live. It's Brandon Follick.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just outed me.
Wow. Wow. I mean, if you can't tell by the vocal fry. And
yeah, true. I'm operating upper staff, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
How was your Thanksgiving together, you guys? Last year I came by at the very end of your Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really capped it off.
I did. But I arrived for the karaoke. Did you guys do karaoke?
Of course.
It was a stressful situation yet again for me because, you know, I always try to simplify the setup and it ends up being harder. I would say I did get very high. And then
yes, you did.
And then I was trying to top I bring two things. I bring a delicious mac and cheese and a delicious green bean casserole that I make both from scratch.
I gotta ask, did you do the viral mac and cheese, the teeny?
Yes,
that
I made it last year, and then
Did
this
you do
year,
the little white woman's mac and cheese?
Oh, I did the
Little white woman.
But the whole thing is that, like, her whole, like, one of the controversies about Teeny's mac and cheese,
Which
is
maybe
that
that's a search history.
That's a search
or
history. That's the
Patreon
whole
episode
thing.
in and of itself.
I feel like white people mac and cheese is like cheese sauce and it's like slimy and stuff. Where like black people mac and cheese is baked. It's like a baked situation.
Yeah, I feel like Midwestern mac and cheeses, white Midwestern mac and cheeses that I've encountered are baked with like.
Well, they love a bake. Well,
Yeah.
with breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs
Yeah,
on top.
it's like the viscosity of like Velveeta, though. You know, like it's always liquid no matter what temperature it's stored
Exactly, and they put breadcrumbs. Teeny famously does it the black way, which is with the roux, a cheese sauce, whatever, and bakes it. So, yeah, and it was really good. And I added some chicken bouillon, but also I did get fucking high. So I was, right before I put the green bean casserole, I was going to put some crispy onions. I was so high, I put crispy onions on the mac and cheese. Not the worst mistake in the world.
No, not the worst. I feel like that could be pretty good.
And I gotta
was
say,
laughing
like,
at me.
you know, I'm like round 12 into the leftovers right now, and the Crispies help.
The Crispies
You know,
help.
they're
The
singing.
Crispies help.
They remain strong.
Yeah, and Brendan made a delicious roasted chicken. It was great.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I gotta say, this is the least stressful Thanksgiving for me. I usually do turkey, and going to chicken is truly giving me back an entire day in my life.
Well, those who follow me on socials, Pandalise on Instagram, at least not on TikTok, I did the Popeyes pre-cooked turkey this year. And it was really good.
Yeah, it's been a conversation on our household for years now.
Yeah, I said we should do it. Because the
was
gravy
good.
you said was really good too.
The gravy was really, really good. The turkey itself was really good. The deal with it is that you get it. It's totally frozen, so you have to defrost it for like 3 days fully.
Yeah.
And then it's pre-cooked, but it does take like 2 hours in the oven. So I would say if I were to do it again, me and Danny, we went up to like an Airbnb. And so it took us a little while. Like the oven wasn't getting to the right temperature. So there were some, it wasn't dry, but it was a little drier than I would have liked. But
it's just turkey
said,
too.
exactly,
Turkey
it's just
always
turkey.
gonna be dry.
But I think that it could have been better if we hadn't had these oven-related issues that were happening. So I would say good, could have been better, and the could have been better was like a user error situation.
I will say, last week's grass hole, Chef Moise, she has this famous poultry paste. Well, basically, she puts she says you season, you put mayo and yogurt, and then anything, and a little bit of mustard, and then you put any seasonings, and it really retains the moisture, and all that stuff, and makes it, and you only have to baste it once, and it makes it juicy. So that she calls it the poultry paste. It was a viral thing, and I'm like, fuck, that looks good.
Do you use mayo when you make grilled cheese?
I do.
Yeah.
And it does make it crispy and perfect.
Yeah.
But Brandon,
now that
can we cut that actually?
No,
we're not
cut it all.
That's viral.
cut all the viral Thanksgiving talk. Okay, now that we've debriefed on Thanksgiving, Brandon, when we introduced you, we said you are a writer on the, I would say indie darling DIY late night show, Late Stage Live. It's hosted by Ellie Yerman. For listeners, what is Late Stage Live? How did it come to be? And more importantly, is Late Stage Live the liberal Joe Rogan that we so desperately need in this country?
Yeah, to go backwards in answering your question, yes, we are liberal Joe Rogan.
Great.
I would feel like your group would see liberal as a slur.
Yeah, I think we're aiming for leftists, and to be called a lib is
Joe
so.
Rogan, but yeah, but I also feel like the liberal Joe Rogan would have to feel that way to truly be, because that's Joe Rogan's thing. Is he feels like he acts like he's on the outside, being like, I'm just observing, I'm just asking questions.
Oh yeah, all those free-thinking pundits who are like, I'm free of political classification. It's you sound pretty close to a Nazi.
Yeah, you're clearly a Republican. First of all, okay, you've only ever voted for Republicans.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, it's a news comedy show. We film at the Brick Studios.
The Brooklyn, what is it? What does BRIC stand for? Brooklyn,
something independent celebration.
Institute of Cool.
Yeah, Institute of Cool.
Brooklyn Institute of Cool.
Really Institute of Cool.
Yeah.
No, but it's amazing. It's like
Brooklyn Public Access TV.
Yeah. They're affiliated with WNYC as well. It's a tax paid nonprofit organization based In Fort Greene.
Yeah.
A lot of courses you can take to learn how to do audio, visual, video.
Yeah, the tax dollars are, because the host of Late Stage Live is a trans woman. So your tax dollars are going to trans people making content. So Republicans, be scared.
Yeah, true. If you're paying taxes in Brooklyn,
it's going
you
to
might be funding trans art.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah. Manhattan, you're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Manhattan, listen. But Brandon, a lot of your online tenure is spent in the satire world with titles like Apple's updated options for ignoring your screen time limit, man devotes rest of life to misogyny after being broken up with once, and my favorite, you'll be swimming with the fishes, says mobster warning of the impacts of rising sea level.
Yes.
Tell us about your process for coming up with satirical items and things that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. I have an endless note in my phone, just kind of records all the disparate thoughts throughout my day. So for example, man devotes the rest of life to misogyny. It's actually based on my little brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Call him out?
Yeah. Well, I've got several, so they'll never know. But no, one of them has really drastically changed his worldview after one breakup in high school. But it's also Mark Zuckerberg, right? So, it's thinking about the broader schemes that men pull. But I don't know. It's a lot of I'm trying to think of the fishes one and how that one was started. I really wanted to write like a climate change.
I think that's
one.
just a bolt from the blue. That's just genius striking.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that was me pulling from my years of watching The Sopranos. A lot of mafia lore. God, lore is such a motif on this podcast too.
Yeah, we do say lore a lot. But
yeah,
lore,
really lore.
There's a lot of lore. That's what life is. Life is lore.
Yeah.
Wow. Put a pin in that for potential merch.
Life is lore.
We're getting into merch next year, guys.
Yeah.
That's one of the goals. Let us know what you want on merch, but life is lore, I think.
Yeah, life is lore is definitely one. Something I want to I think it would be fun to have some terry cloth, like Juicy Couture.
Absolutely.
Like, Juicy Couture type jumpsuit, but on the ass it says backlash to the backlash.
That's hilarious.
Let's price that out.
Let's price that out.
Yeah. Each cheek says backlash.
Oh, yeah. Each cheek says backlash. The children making that are going to be pissed.
Juicy's coming back in a huge way.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Like, it's nuts.
Sure. It's all, everything cyclically is coming back to the early 2000s now.
Yeah.
But,
including misogyny that never left.
Yeah, and creepy thinness, and which also never really left. But it had a moment.
There was a moment where the Kardashians had an extra BBL.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
All right, should we move into our software updates? We have an update on our discourse from last year. Our discourse from last week. We have an update. So
the update. We have three updates. And usually I can read this off my phone, but this is so lengthy. I mean, I'm going to try to go quick, but if you remember, this is our software update. If you remember, last week we talked about the aesthetic TikTok mom influencer, Marlena Velez, who posted her Target shopping haul at a Cape Coral Target, then was arrested for stealing those same items in the haul by police by posting her picture on the socials, right? So the video haul was from October 30th. And that's when it was posted, and that's when she stole the items. Marlena was arrested on just remember these dates. Marlena was arrested on October 21st. We then found, right, through all of this, that she has a history of theft when she stole her friend Amanda Santana's car and crashed it into a ditch next to a Dunkin' Donuts. And she was arrested for stealing $60 worth of shit from Walmart last year on October 2023. And she was sentenced to 6 months of anti-theft classes, which clearly didn't take.
The anti-theft classes is so...
No, the anti-theft classes. I had to take anger management class once that's a whole other thing in Millie's lore. And the class was it just made me angry. Because it was like, here are all the things that trigger anger. And it was like, I am mad about that.
That actually sucks when people do that. Yeah. I think when my sister, I lore drop for my sister all the time now too. But I think when my sister got in trouble for stealing at the mall, time-honored tradition of
Yeah. Why we
Fairfax
have
County
malls.
suburban teenagers. She had to do like a book club. Like her and her friend that got caught together, they had to go to a book club.
Wow. Well, that will definitely make me not steal anymore.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, that sounds kind of rad, though.
I know. I was like, actually, honestly, that feels like a radical form of non-punishment that I can actually get behind.
Yeah,
but it is
like,
funny.
Yeah, you want to do whatever? Like, come read some fucking books.
Yeah,
with some
clearly
old
you need
ladies.
a hobby or something. You have too much
Hobbies. That's pretty
time.
Well, what
So-
books are they reading? Like, is it the law or is it like
Not the law.
Deathly Hallows? Like,
I think more like Deathly Hallows probably, but I
Yeah.
think more like a book you would read in your high school. So they
So
would
like
read
To Kill a Mockingbird. or
literally,
something.
something
It's
something
like right
along.
and wrong or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so update one is that before Marlena Velez went viral, she had 300,000 followers. Today, she has 412.8 thousand
Okay.
followers.
I love this woman.
So, she posted, she said, let me talk about the allegations. She posted a selfie of her saying, I'm going to talk about the allegations with a framed picture of her mugshot behind her
Mhm.
and basically went on to do her makeup.
Yes, I posted that video on our Instagram. So
And-
you can watch it yourself.
Yeah.
But she basically goes like, I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room, and then she just does her makeup and walks away.
Yeah. But in the caption, I'm going to read the caption of that video that says, all jokes aside, just know my team is managing the situation and everything is all caps okay. My friends, my family, my home are all okay. Despite the unfortunate situation that's unfolded, your continued love and support means everything to me. While there will be time to discuss my wrongings, now is not that moment, and it doesn't mean I don't want to speak on it or take accountability for my actions. It means everything is still being dealt with in court, so I just please ask to respect that. I also want to be clear, this doesn't define who I am, and it doesn't reflect the person I strive to be. I do believe that we all make mistakes, and that's how we learn and grow from them. I'm committed to doing better, not just for myself, but for my family, and all of you are supporting me moving forward. I hope to continue sharing my life with you, all my ups and downs, and the lessons I've learned through all of this. That being said, for those of you who do choose to support me, I want you to know that I appreciate you during this time. It truly means the world to me, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. So that's her
Okay.
little statement.
Her
So-
little statement. That's her little statement.
That's her little statement. But guess what, guys? It's an investigative journalism podcast.
Yes, it is.
So, Millie Tamaris, I spoke to an account that allegedly belongs to Amanda Santana.
Yes,
The
the
girl,
friend.
the friend whose car Marlena Velez crashed in 2019 in a Dunkin' Donuts ditch. She's listened to the podcast. I said, hey, we brought you up in the podcast.
Yeah,
And like,
because we
just
stand
take a
on
listen.
business
We
here.
stand on business here.
Yeah.
And
We shouted you out.
This is a pod for the people.
this is a pod for
Exactly.
the people. And she has a statement that she said she was okay with me reading. She says she did not snitch on Marlena. She only spoke to the news because Marlena still has not paid restitution for her car.
Mhm.
This is the quote. I'm getting a lot of people asking me to make a TikTok about the situation, but I'm a very nervous type of gal. Marlena made a fake account just to bash me. There's a lot more to the story that I didn't add because I don't want to do it for, quote, clout, nor did I want to get popular from her downfall. Yeah, I was looking at her comments and I had to stop because people were really supporting her. Also, Marlena said I was clout chasing, but really, I just want my money back. I was not the one who snitched, but once the news contacted me, I was like, maybe I should tell my story because people really don't know how she is. I really thought maybe she would have changed, but unfortunately, she has not. And I really try to giving her the benefit of the doubt. As a Latina myself, I support all the type of content, and I'm not going to lie, her content is good. She is the type of female to hate on others, but I am not, nor am I talking shit about her. I'm just stating the facts and what she has done. She is a really mean girl. Oof.
Not a girl's girl.
Not a girl's girl.
Those words cut.
I know.
Like-
I know.
Nothing else cuts for this. Okay. She is a really mean girl. I lost my space. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because I got shook from that. She made fake users to talk about me and others saying all these rumors. It's so hard not to make a video about everything, but I just really am not used to social media and the attention. But thank you for saying, quote, if I was Amanda, I would feel some type of way too, quote. I really enjoyed the podcast. I do not wish bad upon her like she probably does with me. I also hope she does get the help she needs. When my parents pressed charges on her, I tried to get them not to, But again, she did total my car, and my parents worked really hard to get me a car, which is such a rare thing to have at that age. And she's lucky she didn't get anyone hurt. When she took it, she asked for her and her friend to sit in my car until one of her guy friends picked them up at the student parking lot because they wanted to skip school, and she would have come back to give me the key after lunch. She didn't even have a license at the time, so I had no thought she would even steal my car. We were very close at the time, and we went to a trip to Orlando the week before the incident. So I guess they're from like an hour outside. She did do a good job in manipulating me, and I'm not the only one she had stole from. There's more to the story, but I did learn my lesson on not giving anyone my keys.
Wow.
I have one more update, but any thoughts on that?
I mean, first of all, Amanda, thank you so much for coming to Go Touch Grass exclusively with your statement. I don't think anyone should pressure you into making a TikTok if you don't want to make a TikTok.
Yeah.
And I 100% understand, like, if the cops called me about a woman who stole my car and crashed it.
If the news called me.
The news, right. If the news called me and they were like, hey, this woman stole your car and crashed it, right? I would be like, yeah, she stole my fucking car and crashed it.
Yeah.
And the idea of like, her like parents like worked really hard to get her a car. And like a lot of times, like when parents get you a car, it's like to help your other siblings out or to help them out. Like, it's just really fucked up. I feel super bad for her. She was really sweet and really nice, and
Oh my gosh, yeah. I want to recognize that she was trying to withhold pressing charges against her friend that her parents wanted to pursue. Because she was like, I want to give her a moment to be a better person.
Well,
yeah.
Like, that's a good yeah.
And it does feel like a very high school mistake to be like, yeah, sure, sit in my car. Of course you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, I probably also would have been like, yeah,
I
totally.
would have totally done that. And also like, I did not learn to like actually say no to people until I'm like in my 30s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Like, so the idea of like saying no to something that someone wants, like,
that would not have crossed my mind at 18. Especially your friend.
Someone you trust, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your friend that you went to Orlando to the week before.
Exactly.
Do you think it was a long scheme? Or it was just like kind of a random act of...
Kind of, what Amanda says was like, this girl was like using her for a while. And
yeah. I think that the vibe I'm getting off Marlena is that she just kind of does whatever she wants when she wants. And so she was like, oh, I want to use this car. And I'm sure
I don't think she crashed the car on purpose.
No,
I think she just doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have her license and she's driving
the
car.
So she was like, oh, well, she let me in her car. She's gonna probably let me go to Dunkin' Donuts. She probably won't even know that I'm taking the car to Dunkin' Donuts. And then she probably made a wrong turn and crashed it into a ditch next to Dunkin' Donuts.
That's so rogue to be like, I don't know how to drive, but I will just go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, in someone else's car that I did not let them know in any way, shape, or form I would be driving and then just immediately crashing it.
Okay,
yeah, I want that surveillance footage in Dunkin'.
Can I tell you something stupid that I did once?
Please.
In high school, because some of the people had on-the-job training, OJT. So, like, they let you leave. Like, if you worked at the mall or something, it's kind of fucked up. But, like, they would let you leave school like, you get a special pass that lets you leave campus and come back. If you worked at the mall, for example, you get, like, on-the-job training and you get, like, school credit for working your real job.
We had that, too.
I think that we had that as well.
Yeah. So, I had a friend who had on-the-job training, but I wanted to skip class early to get ready for grad night, which is when we all went to, like, Disney World for the night, like, all seniors and stuff. And Cassie and the Frey performed. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not trying to age myself, but Cassie did perform at my grad night. So I went in the trunk of my friend's car, like 90-degree Florida weather. I went in the trunk of her car. We all like hid in her backseat and in the trunk so we can leave school an hour early.
An hour early.
I could have
This is like a sitcom. Like...
Yeah, I know. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. Final update.
Okay.
Marlena was arrested for shoplifting.
Again?
No, not for the original time. For a new time.
She was arrested on November 30th for shoplifting from the same Target.
No, not the same Target.
On November 20th. So she shoplifted on October 30th and then got found and arrested for November 21st. Come to find out, according to police, Velez entered the store on November 20th, the day before she got arrested, selected merchandise, and used a false barcode to scan items at the self-checkout. The theft included 16 household items and clothing valued at $225. The arrest comes weeks after Velez was arrested in connection to a similar incident at the same Target where she shoplifted $500 worth of merchandise.
Same Target.
In that, they tied her.
Same tactic, too.
Wow.
Same tactic. They tied her to the crime through security footage and videos posted on her TikTok account. Listen to this. This is why you can't fucking play with Target.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's like, this goes back to exactly what we were saying, is you don't fuck around with Target. They will lay in wait. They are watching you, and they will get you.
Listen to this. For the November 20th theft, the officers said they positively identified surveillance footage and her phone's wallpaper. They saw her phone's wallpaper, which matched a photo from her Instagram account. They saw her phone's wallpaper in the video and then connected it to her Instagram account that had the same wallpaper.
The level of detective work that's going on at Target, like, you know, I've been watching the latest John Benet Ramsey documentary. I'm like, how can we apply some of these tactics?
Yeah.
You're not finding real criminals, but you're doing like reconnaissance and matching wallpaper to find this TikTok woman.
Yeah, I need the people working at Target to start working on like strings of murders.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I need them to find long cold cases and solve them.
Yeah.
Investigators said they also noticed a man was present during the theft. According to reports, the man has a distinctive arm tattoo, which they said appears in Velez's TikTok video. This goes to like, does her husband know?
Yeah,
I'm going to assume that this is her husband.
Wow.
And this motherfucker does know. On Saturday, which was this Saturday, Thanksgiving Saturday, Velez was arrested and taken to Lee County Jail. She faces additional theft charges for this incident. Her court date for this crime is December 17th. People are saying that she's not getting out
I'm
on
free
bond.
that day.
Oh, you want free that
If
day?
we want to go.
She's saying that people say that she's
Field
not
trip.
getting out on bond, but then I did hear that she is out on bond, so that's a little
Watch
confusing.
this space.
So watch this space, but
Wow.
I think she's gonna go see jail time.
I know. Well, maybe they'll just have her do a book club.
I know. Guys, we need you outside the courthouse, posters, flyers,
Send
face
Merlin
paint.
to book club.
Yeah.
She could have it to book influencer.
She is dumb enough to do like not book talk.
Yeah.
The ones that say don't keep it political.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
She
one.
could be there.
She could be there.
This is also a higher amount that
Yeah.
she's stolen, right? Because she was usually operating in like the $60 to $80. This is like $250.
So she was she got caught for $60. Then she did the $225, didn't get caught, and she did the $500. Then she got caught for the $200. Then after she got caught for the $500, she did the $200. Like they found her for the $200.
Because that's what Target does.
Target
is
does.
they
Yeah.
And
wait
they
for
fucking
you.
found the wallpaper.
I thought they were waiting until like you got to thousands. Like I thought they were like really holding out for it because I've been seeing stuff about this online too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I feel
it
like
would.
she's done it a
we
lot.
should
Yeah.
maybe. I guess you would have to see like what makes it like a higher level crime, and then I think they just swoop in and
I feel
immediately.
like $200, maybe they're like, we'll let it go. But $500, they're like, oh,
okay,
no.
now
Like,
she's coming back.
And then they found her from another thing.
Yeah, because I think Target like doesn't want to settle like petty theft,
No.
but they're
No.
waiting until it's like a legitimate
Larceny or
offense.
whatever, like the next level up is.
Yeah. They're waiting until your larceny is grand, bitch. Like, at least she got her Black Friday in.
Yeah, she
Girl.
definitely did. All right. This is actually updating on last week's discourse is a perfect segue into this week's discourse because we are staying this week in the world of beige lifestyle influencing Latinas.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Yes.
We are staying in a very specific
Wow.
space
My wheelhouse.
this week. Get ready. We are developing a niche.
Listen.
Stuff's happening in this world. So, okay, today's discourse comes from an article in The Verge by journalist Mia Sato. It's called Bad Influence, the influencer lawsuit that could change the industry.
Ooh.
And I very much encourage our listeners to go find that article. She does TikToks also where she like breaks things down. She literally went to Texas and interviewed the people that we're about to talk about. The article goes deep into like copyright law, the history of influencing, all of that stuff. So I encourage you to go read it, but that's where the information from today is coming. So I'm going to introduce you to our cast of characters now. First up, we have Sydney Nicole Gifford, a 24-year-old Amazon influencer with 299,000 followers on Instagram and 602.1 thousand followers on TikTok. To be an Amazon influencer, what that means is like you promote Amazon products. If people buy it from your store, you get a little cut. This is Sydney Nicole Gifford.
Okay.
Take a look.
Nice.
Nice. She looks great.
Would. No, sorry. cut that.
We're not cutting that. We're not cutting that. But people remember when you identified as B.
Yeah. I'm not practicing now.
Non-practicing bisexual. Like everyone else.
Yeah, secular.
Secular bisexual. That's very fun. Okay, our second character here is a woman by the name of Alyssa Scheel. She is also an Amazon influencer. She is 21. She lives in Austin. She has 138,000 followers on Instagram, and she is not currently on TikTok as far as I could find. I don't know if she removed her TikTok since I typed her name in and no users came up. So
that's about as much research as we're doing.
Yeah, no.
We
don't touch Google.
We're not looking up IP addresses.
I Googled Alyssa Scheel TikTok. Didn't come up. So anyway, this is Alyssa.
Okay,
This
so
is
blonde.
Blonde
In
now.
the office.
Blonde now.
Wow.
This is her home office. She has a big sign that says, "I am so lucky." And did anything stick out to you about the aesthetics of both of these women?
I just think it's like all white. And then the other one, the second one does have that Mormon balayage thing.
Both of them.
Shout out to Alberto, who was in our discourse that said Mormon balayage, and I'm like, yes, that's a whole genre.
That is a genre. All white, everything.
Yeah, no splash of color.
Not a pop of color.
Kim Kardashian is really like ruining not everything, but like an entire generation of women.
Yeah, the monochromatic thing is it's tough for me.
Tough.
Sorry, I'm really laughing at Kim Kardashian has ruined everything, but definitely a generation of women.
We're talking about Joe Rogan destroying like brains of American men. Like
we got it.
Yeah, because those were operating perfectly before. Like, I hear you.
I mean, we do have to talk about the weirdness around lifestyle content, which is. This discourse is so perfect because it brings in like influencer stuff, algorithm stuff. There's important racial context that we'll get to. Everything that we talk about is tied in. So, okay. Now I'm going to show you, and as always, guys, we will have all these photos up on the Go Touch Grass page by like mid-afternoon on the day that the episode comes out. So you can go look through all of them. But this is a screenshot of Alyssa Nicole's page that gives you just a look at her content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of white and beige.
Curtains.
Yeah, curtains.
Cable knit sweater.
Yeah. The bathroom's really nice and aesthetic. Like natural wood. A really expensive espresso machine.
And then like some of them say like Amazon home deals, fashion basics on sale, cyber weekend. And then here is a screenshot of Alyssa's page.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Would you guys say similar vibe?
Yeah, like particle board furniture. What do you even call the texture that couch? I think it's like plush fleece kind of. Okay, we got a fur coat.
But I feel like everyone kind of looks like this now.
So
I feel like this one is even less colored than the other girl.
So
it is because the other girl was wearing like a red sweater.
Yeah,
that other girl wears red once.
Yeah,
Well, Alyssa has a little blue purse here, so
it looks like denim.
Yeah, there's something going on there, but that question kind of gets at the heart of what we're going to talk about here because Sydney, the first one, is suing the second one, Alyssa, for copyright infringement in a case that. If it is to move forward, it's basically applying copyright law in a whole new way. It's raising all of these questions about what can be copyrighted in the influencing space, what is algorithmic, whatever. It's like very interesting details again. So let's get into the story. First thing that you need to know background-wise is that Sydney and Alyssa know each other.
Thank God.
They know each other. When Sydney lived in Austin, she and Alyssa used to meet up and like support each other and basically do like girl boss influencer things together.
Okay, so this is giving mom talk.
Yeah. There's definitely influencer antics that happen here. So apparently, according to a TikTok I watched by the journalist who looked into all of this, Mia Sato, there was another influencer at these meetings. She doesn't name who that influencer is, but there was another influencer at these meetings, and Sydney felt that Alyssa and the other influencer were icing her out and being unfriendly towards her.
Okay.
Alyssa and the other influencer deny this. They say they were not icy towards her. Whatever.
It's important to remember these people are 20.
Yeah, these people are in their 20 to 24 year range.
Yeah.
So.
The frontal cortex isn't developed and Saturn has not returned.
No.
Also, if those two were hanging out without Sydney, multiple times, I could see that being the case. But, it's the three of them hanging out. I think Sydney's vibe just isn't, it's not compatible with the other two.
I'm also just that's okay. Some people are closer friends than others.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows.
I would need a lot more information on that, what made her feel that way and whatnot. But either way, the next thing is something that everyone agrees happens, which is that Alyssa blocks Sydney on social media.
Ooh, that's big.
So now I am okay, so I guess Alyssa didn't like Sydney.
Yeah.
So if Sydney was picking up on a vibe from her and the other influencer, there was probably something there because Alyssa blocked her.
But we don't know. Wait, did Alyssa block her out of an immediate action that Sydney took against her? Or just.
No, that is not made clear in any of these pieces. It just seems like the sense that I got from the article and then watching Mia's TikTok is that they had this kind of brief friendship. Sydney eventually moves away from Austin and then kind of realizes, Alyssa has blocked me. And the way Sydney, according to when Sydney was talking to the journalist who looked into all of this, she says that she didn't think much of it at the time because she just assumed it was her feeling some type of way because Sydney has more followers or that, she didn't like her, whatever. She just didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
Really.
The blocking, because blocking is pretty crazy.
Blocking is intense. So I'm also I bet Sydney thought a little of it.
Yeah, it's definitely an insecurity thing. I saw a great tweet yesterday that was
Tell us.
I'm the villain in your story, but you're the broke bitch loser in mine.
That's very much what this
something
story
like that,
is.
but yeah.
That's very much what this story is, I think. But both people feel that way about each other in this story, I think.
Because I'm sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if Sydney did something kind of whack, but then I'm blocking is so a professional relationship but then again, these girls are 21.
But I also feel given everything that's to come, if Sydney did something very describably whack, I feel that Alyssa would have presented that information at this point. Because right now, the reason that she blocked Sydney is not
apparent.
Yeah, not known that. It seems like it's. I think that I don't want to say specifically, but the bottom line is it's not said in any of the stuff why Alyssa blocked Sydney, but it is agreed to by all parties that Alyssa does block Sydney.
Yeah, I guess I'm just if you're in a space and you want to maintain a professional relationship, but you fucking hate this person's guts, you would just mute them. I mute half of the comments.
I know.
Yeah.
I have everybody.
My closest friends and family.
Yeah.
Right. I'm if someone's success, seeing it on your Instagram bothers you, I understand that, but that's what mute is for.
Yeah, but but we don't know what happens.
Yeah.
It's going to make this copywriting case very interesting, though.
Yes, exactly, because it's okay. So 10 months after the blocking, 10 months later, Sydney starts getting messages from her followers saying that they saw Alyssa's content and thought it was Sydney because Alyssa's content looked so much like Sydney's.
Okay.
Sydney then goes and looks on Alyssa's page, I assume on a burner account or something, and finds what she feels to be overlap between her and Sydney's content. Basically, she says that she would post stuff and a couple months later, Alyssa would post really similar stuff and sometimes even be promoting the same products. So these are from the lawsuit. This is one post that's her. It's called carsitting.2023 is the name of the exhibit. It was posted on October 27th, 2023. So it's a photo of Sydney sitting in the car in a monochromatic black outfit. And then a couple months later, Alyssa posted herself in a similar position sitting in the car in a monochromatic white outfit.
What were they selling?
This one isn't selling something. These are just like lifestyle posts.
Okay.
But here's one where they are selling something. So I don't have the dates on these, but all of these are things that Sydney posted first and then Alyssa posted after. So Sydney posted an Amazon affiliate link trying to sell these little earring bow things.
Interesting.
These little bow earrings. And then we've got Alyssa posting not the exact same bow earrings, but very similar gold Amazon bow earrings and displaying them in a very similar fashion.
Okay, so she's promoting market competition.
Yeah.
Capitalist queen.
Okay, I'm going to show you a couple more and then we will we'll debrief on how we feel. So these are phone cases that they both promoted in a very similar way according to the lawsuit. And then we have this cookware set that was promoted, similar cookware sets promoted in a similar way. Sydney promotes it first, Alyssa promotes it after. How do we feel after looking at the evidence?
So my thing is, if they were, for example, both influencers on Pottery Barn, there's like a very limited selection in which they can, but it's Amazon.
Yeah.
There's thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of products. So that's kind of making me look kind of, it's like, yeah, why are you picking similar products? Like, you could actually pick completely different things. Like, why are you picking the same shit?
Yeah, the little bow earrings gave me a little pause.
And I mean, that's a
strong
trend.
start.
Like the bows are trends and stuff, but I'm just like, why would you even, like, I don't know. And then the way that she, like, with the hair moving back and stuff, like,
the staging looks very similar in the photos.
I think that there's something here because it's Amazon, and Amazon, you could do tech, you could do any kind of product, hair tools, whatever, but the specific things, it's just too similar.
It's almost like a mocking thing going on. Like if I was Sydney, I would be like, wait, sorry, Alyssa's posting after Sydney.
Alyssa posts after Sydney.
If I was Alyssa, when you go to court, I want you to cite the laws of satire and parody and say that you are protected.
Yes, Alyssa.
But she's not, though. She's not making fun of her. She's not making any commentary. Because if it was a commentary on late stage capitalism or whatever, the fact that this is Amazon is so dark because the reality is the people who run Amazon, Jeff Bezos, all these fucking people have so much money that they could essentially squash all of this, but they're like, it's like I mean, now I'm getting all Marxist, but it's like the lowest people on the lowest rung are like clawing and fighting each other while these people are just making so much money. It's so crazy and depressing and sad.
That's a point that the journalist Mia makes a lot in the article too, is that it's like, all of this stuff is crap, too. Like, it's all shit that's going to end up in landfills. It's all, like, aesthetic, shitty stuff that is being, like, hawked out en masse to people. So, yeah, it's like everyone fighting over who gets to sell, like, pans that'll probably poison you.
Yeah,
fully.
Really, yeah.
Like,
let's be real
like
about
a poisonous pan.
Yeah, because we all know about the fucking coating that causes...
Oh, is it Teflon or whatever?
Yeah. And then also now that I saw online that, like, if you have a black spatula, it's probably killing you. Watch this space, guys. Put a pin in black spatula discourse. But I think if you have a black spatula, you should maybe throw it away.
Honestly, yeah. If you're putting any type of like plastic or rubber near a heating element, cease and desist.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God, guys.
We're going metal, glass.
I'm just saying, you're fine. I'm hearing there's something going on with the black spatula specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, basically, Sydney at this point starts filing copyrights on her stuff and sends a cease and desist to Alyssa. Alyssa does not cease or desist.
Right.
She keeps posting her same content, and that is how this gets to lawsuit level. Sydney files a lawsuit against Alyssa. She's suing Alyssa not just for copyright, though. She's also suing her for misappropriation of her likeness, which basically means that she says that Alyssa is not only stealing content from her, but that she's trying to look like her and steal her whole vibe, and that a person looking at their content might think they were the same person. Here's where the important racial context comes in. So Sydney is a white Latina and Alyssa is an Afro-Latina. But for those...
I could not tell that from the pictures that you sent.
Yeah. So for those listening, they do kind of both. They don't look alike, but they are like roughly the same size, color, and shape.
I would say the same genre.
Yeah, same
like,
genre.
Would they be in the same audition?
Yes, they're giving the same thing. If they were standing in front of you, you would not be mistaking the two of them for each other. Like, they don't facially look like each other, but the image that she posts for the misappropriation evidence is basically this picture in the classic influencer pose where you have your phone in front of your face, covering your entire face. And she says we could be the same person in these two pictures, which feature them in like a gray sweatpants short suit. They're looking in the mirror. Their phone is in front of their face. They have a bun that's sleeked. They do look like they could be the same girl, but everybody looks like they.
I was going to say there are countless people who look like that.
Yeah, like this
and
is
they're
just
all copying Kim Kardashian.
Exactly. So this one is tough for me because I'm like, I mean, this is just a style that a lot of girls have and a pose that tons of influencers do.
I would say if Sydney has like quantifiable data that says like Alyssa doing this has cost me roughly this estimate of money in sales, then she probably has like a stronger lawsuit. But like this is so categorically anomalous, like ambiguous.
Yeah.
Nebulous.
She does claim that her sales went down and she attributes it to Sydney or Alyssa, but it's unclear what the evidence of that is.
Two things. One is like, it's tough with when you're just selling shit.
Yeah.
There's only so many poses and so many angles that you can fucking do. And like, I sometimes like photography TikTok comes on my feed and it's like, there's only there's a certain amount of poses that you can do that makes that super flattering, that shows off the actual article of clothing and all that stuff. Like there's only so much. And in terms of sales going down, yeah, like it's the whole reason Donald Trump won. People are hurting right now.
Yeah. The economy's not good.
The economy's not good. People are losing jobs. It's taking forever for people to get jobs again. I mean, in tandem to like the out of office comment with Chef Moises, people are like, you will get fired. It's a terrible economy. Like, what else? So it's like to be so in your like influencer bubble to not even be like, oh yeah, what is going on outside? Like, oh, I'm having sales drop. Like it must be someone else and not like this other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's such a limited catalog too of like what they're both selling. They're also selling Amazon products. They're not like making their own products. They're not true small business owners.
No. So, okay, Sydney also says that Alyssa copied her hairstyle. So, Alyssa, I know. So, Alyssa has the Mormon balayage now.
Yeah.
But according to Sydney posted this video of herself getting her hair done. And then Alyssa also got her hair done. This one doesn't hold water to me. I'll be honest. This seems like two women just got brown hair.
Yeah.
Wait, can you go back to Sydney, please?
It's just a standard long brown hair to me.
Yeah. A little wavier as well.
Yeah.
But that's just the styling of it. This is Ingrid Goes West. This is fully.
But I feel like it's the other girl. It's like reverse Vertigo. It's like the other girl thinks that the other girl's single white femaling her, but she's just being everyone else.
Yeah, it's a weird thing where it's like, okay, if one person is enacting the aesthetics of the algorithm and then another person is maybe getting inspiration for posts from that person, what actually belongs to you versus it's complicated questions. This was really funny. This is a quote from the article from Sydney when they were talking about how Alyssa has blonde hair now. She goes, obviously she can do whatever she wants with her hair. It looks great. It looks awesome, Gifford said of Sheil. We currently look nothing alike, and she's rocking the hairstyle. It looks great on her. There seemed to be an edge to her delivery, and I can't quite tell if it's coming from frustration or relief. That was like, that last bit was the author. And I just think that's interesting. She's like, she looks amazing. I love the blonde hair. She looks great, not pretending to me. So it looks great.
Yeah. She's holding back something.
Here's the big one. They got the same tattoo.
Okay,
Alyssa got a very similar tattoo to Sydney. So Sydney's is one flower in a very particular style, and Alyssa's is more flowers in the particular style. But Sydney did get the tattoo first, and it is in the same place. It's on their upper interior arm.
I wish it was the same tattoo artist.
It looks similar, but I'm like,
It's tough.
still plausible to liability, because like right now the way that tattoos work is that you can get any picture off, like go to the tattoo artist. If they don't have any integrity, they'll just print out and put the stencil and just do whatever you got. Like that's my tattoo on my left arm. Like I literally just posted, I just went on Pinterest, tattoos, bulb, like it just happens all the time, you know?
Yeah, well, so Alyssa says, purely a coincidence, she got the tattoo idea from Pinterest.
I mean, it looks like an aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like,
It does.
and it isn't that close.
It's like a pencil drawing of a flower. The flowers are in very similar styles, but I see the style on Pinterest all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
I
they're
do.
both being influenced by
All
the
of
same
it-
source.
Yeah, all of it is Pinterest.
So Alyssa's lawyers also say, and this brings back the racial context, that this whole thing has a racial undertone to it because Alyssa is obviously not the only person getting these stencil flower tattoos, doing this beige influencing, taking pictures with her phone in front of her face. But she's now the one who's the subject of this lawsuit, and that it's kind of a form of gatekeeping, basically, to be like, you don't get to be in the beige influencer space.
Yeah.
So Alyssa told Mia Sato, the journalist, as a person of color who is on the fair side, I feel like I've never really fit in with darker crowds or lighter crowds. I'm too dark for the lighter crowds, and then I'm too light for the darker crowds. So it's just a weird spot to be in. So she kind of says,
Beige influencer.
Wow.
And I can say that.
and
Yeah.
Millie
I'm
said
keeping
it.
my mouth
Brendan laughed though.
It's true. In support.
And you laughed at home.
Allyship.
And you all laughed in your little headphones at home, too. You giggled on the train.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I love my friend so much. And she's speaking.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
true.
true. She does exist in this kind of in-between space of like
Not black, not white, beige.
beige. She exists in the gray. Let's say
in the
that.
gray.
In the gray,
The
yeah.
gray area where it's like this is I would say traditionally white space, but now as we're talking about, like, there are a lot of influencers who are entering this space. Marlena Velez is also in this influencer space. So it's like, it is interesting that now of all the people who are going to get like hit with a lawsuit, it's her, which I think is the point she's trying to make. As far as the law of it all, this month, a judge ruled that the case can proceed. So if it was completely meritless, a judge would throw it out.
Uh-huh.
So clearly there's some there, but lawyers that Mia Sato talked to for the piece said, this represents like an entirely new way to think about copyright law. It's going to be really hard for Sydney to prove in a court of law that these posts were stolen. And Alyssa's lawyers are basically arguing that, like, this is what influencer content looks like. It's not something one individual can lay claim to. This is a quote from an article per this lawyer that was interviewed. So the lawyer says the outcome of Gifford's lawsuit will depend on whether a judge or jury takes influencer content seriously as a creative endeavor. On one hand, it could be framed as low-value commercial content that all looks the same, in which case Gifford's lawsuit could be seen as an attempt to lay claim to a template of mass-produced marketing, something that copyright law isn't really for. But a judge might see influencer content as having enough creative weight to merit bringing copyright law into the picture. So this is a question that Mia Sato posed in one of her videos, where she basically says, is it possible their algorithms were pushing them towards each other and resembling one another? Social media and fast fashion and cheap home decor is driven by scale. They want to appeal to the most amount of people for as cheap as possible. When you're a content creator, your content is driven by what the algorithm says is good, how videos perform. So you will obviously start to converge a little bit and videos will start to look the same. Reels has literal templates. If you go into TikTok, if you do the TikTok creators program, they'll be like, people are making videos about this. You should make a video about this. Amazon sends the same recommendations to its influencers. Yeah. They're technically personalized, but all the beige girlies are getting the same like recommendations or whatever. So yeah, here where the case stands now is it's proceeding in court. Gifford says her earnings have gone back to normal because she says Sheil is making fewer videos that looks like hers, but she's also kind of pivoted how she does her videos and is putting her face in them more and is trying to like make them more like.
But she probably should have fucking done from the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. Alyssa just bought a new house and she's posting videos about being in her homeowner era. So she's still doing her. Again, I couldn't find her on TikTok. So I don't know if it seems strange to me for her to not be on TikTok.
Yeah.
If you were a judge in this case, guys, who do you side with if you were the judge?
I would, again, Sydney's has merit, but it's bullshit. And I'm also and as not the judge, I'm like, all this effort, Sydney could have just created her own store, pivoted to something else more, to actually making a product or doing something. It's just you're suing and you're defending your right to this really fucked up business model. Amazon could decide tomorrow that the tariffs that Trump is about to implement is going to be non-profitable for their company. So they're going to stop their affiliated program and then what? Yeah. Then you have just sued for what? Try to get I don't know. It's just a lot for me to see this.
Yeah, I do feel like Sydney needs a couple more pieces of evidence before the case can really be closed. For example, if there's any way for her to confirm that Alyssa has some type of burner account that is viewing her account or liking its content or anything like that, that's pretty definitive proof that she's using a proxy account. Definitely quantifying how the sales have been competing against each other. But also, okay, the thing I keep thinking about with this argument is this is the whole thing about studios and production companies wanting to use AI to generate the likeliness of another existing actor. But this is different because it's a real person who also has business need and want.
Yeah, but it is all kind of tied together. And again, there is a there. It is interesting to see two women creating such similar content. But for me, again, I feel like Sydney needs a little bit more evidence because there is, to me, just this algorithmic push towards doing all this stuff. This content, you see it a lot. These perfectly staged items and the gray, and even though these pictures are looking the same, these poses where someone's looking away from the camera and all that stuff, it's very common. You see it all the time. You see it on Pinterest. You see it here and there. Even if maybe to some degree Alyssa was getting inspiration, ideas from Sydney's content at some point, or wanted to be that type of influencer because she saw Sydney's content. But then it's also how much of that does Sydney actually own?
Yeah, and it's also geo-targeted to where you live. You're getting the same recommendation, but it's also you're in this location, everyone dresses the same, the weather is the same, you're going to be buying the same kind of outfits. Going to be, I just think too, how much individuality does one person have if we're being pushed through algorithms on the content on this? Sometimes I listen to on my Spotify and stuff, I'm my taste is all over the place. And I'm discovering these new bands that are served to me on Spotify and this, that, and whatever. And then I go to a coffee shop in Brooklyn, in Bushwick, and I'm oh, this song's for my playlist. Oh, this song. And I'm oh, yeah, it's just basically where I fucking live. It's all this shit. And then everything that I like and I think is cool is based on what I'm seeing around me and stuff. So it's kind of yeah, they're all getting the same shit. Whereas Sydney, if she moves tomorrow to California, her content might be completely different because now it's going to be the California kind of.
It's going to be
No.
boho. There's going to be pampas grass.
Exactly.
It's going to have a yellowish hue
Yeah.
over everything. She might start incorporating coral.
But then, then she'll fucking send a cease and desist to some other local
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, do we really own anything? I don't know.
I don't know if we do, because it's also you're copywriting your own personal image, and your image is based off products that are on the open market. They're like
She's the means of
sellable.
Production, Sydney.
Yeah.
Make your own shit. Then no one
Yeah.
can take it away from you.
This is the same thing too with like script writing though, where
Yeah.
like if you have the same idea for something, like that is fine, but the way that those ideas are executed into like how those like stories are expressed, like that's where copywriting can get into play, and like who owns that IP.
Yeah. Well, it's something I think about, because we talk about topics that show up on other podcasts that I listen to too. But
We talk about topics that show up on like fucking TV shows, and each writer, they have like 20 writers that each make like upper six figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Fighting for our lives.
But
anyway.
it is like a thing where it's like what we own and what's unique to us is our perspective, not
Hashtag
necessarily
mentally ill
Hispanic. It was being
women.
mentally ill Hispanic women. But we don't own these topics that are in the zeitgeist. And I feel like this entire aesthetic is in the zeitgeist. So
Yeah.
how can you determine what's owned by one person versus what's not?
Sydney needs to get into knitting.
And then if Alyssa gets into knitting, we'll see.
Well,
She needs to start. There was this book that I used to read when I was a little kid that will go on
Harry
this
Potter,
journey with
yeah,
me.
we know.
No,
It's in
it's
every episode.
actually not.
You talk about it every episode.
It's actually not. I'm talking about a book called Stephanie's Ponytail. That's for little children. And it's all about this girl named Stephanie who comes to school one day and she's got a cute little ponytail. And then the next day, everyone else has a ponytail. And she's like, okay, I'll do a side ponytail. Next day, everyone comes to school with a side ponytail. And she puts her ponytail in the front of her head. Everyone comes to school with her ponytail in the front of her head. Everybody's copying Stephanie's ponytail. So one day she tells them, tomorrow I'm coming to school bald. And the next day, everyone comes to school bald except for Stephanie, who has her ponytail back.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, I think this is a Stephanie's ponytail situation. But does Stephanie own the ponytail?
But then is Stephanie getting affiliate money from the ponytail?
Yeah, well, is she selling
the hairband?
She's selling the hairband.
She's
I
selling
mean,
the
that's a
heat
whole other
protectant.
thing.
Is
But
she-
here's my thing: is like
The
day
buzzer.
one with the ponytail. It's like you don't own the ponytail, Stephanie. You can't do that. But once she starts gathering more evidence, where she's like, okay, now I'm showing that I'm doing off the beaten path ponytails and still being copied. That's when, you end up squarely on Stephanie's side by the end of the piece.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's probably a 10-page long children's picture book that
No, I
really
mean,
stuck with me.
It's a strong
Each page was,
redemption
like,
arc.
thick cardboard. And
Yeah, like it,
Yeah.
but I loved.
We used to be a
Stephanie's
proper
ponytail.
country.
All right, well, that is kind of the end of our discourse. We're gonna have to keep watching this space
Yeah.
as the lawsuit moves through. As you know, like just from the beginning of this podcast, things can
move quickly.
rapidly happen.
Things
so
move quickly.
watch this space, and now it's time to move on to Grasshole of the Week.
And speaking of mentally ill Hispanic women, and also, honestly, this touches a lot. This is mentally ill Hispanic women. This is Latina creators.
Mhm.
And this is also Texas, #Texas Core.
Wow, and we don't coordinate on
We
this.
don't coordinate, but
We
we're,
can make sure
we're
we're
in
not doing the same
conversation.
thing.
Yes.
But we don't coordinate on who's doing what.
And I don't look
Interesting.
at your shit. Like when you put
Yeah.
something in the doc, I don't look at it. I don't
I-
know. And I never even heard of these two girls either. So there's just so much going on.
There's so much.
And I feel like the corner of the internet I am in is a lot more degenerate than what you're got going on, honestly. Grasshole of the Week is our segment where we choose the person who needs to log off the most. And me and Elise had talked earlier about basically there's this woman who got her PhD on Twitter and like misogynists are like crying about it.
Yeah.
But that's just a regular day in this country apparently now because Elon it's all
Has
full of-
empowered them.
has
to be that
empowered
way.
them.
Wait, what do you mean by she got her PhD in Twitter?
She got her PhD.
Like, she studied Twitter in grad school?
No. She
Okay.
got her PhD and she posted on Twitter, I got my PhD.
Got it.
And like the subject matter was like on smell in
It's like the line is olfactory oppression, and basically she has a PhD in English literature, but her thesis, which is what she's holding in the picture that's bound, it was about how you represent smell in literature to like denote class and race and on how that can be used. And misogynist, right-wing, crazy people on Twitter are like, that's a stupid topic. You're an idiot. You're wasting taxpayer money by doing your thesis on this and blah, blah, blah. And you're stupid. And that's a dumb topic. And you're saying smells are racist. And it's like, she's just talking about how smell is used to communicate the ideas in literature about the status of characters.
They're going to want to get their hands on that thesis too, because advertisers are going to start to use that information in their captions targeted at those smelly ass men coming for that doctor.
Well, a lot of, and some men were like, you need to go back in the kiss. Like, oh my God. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is not that.
Men should have to earn a phone.
Yeah. Well, so this person this week, it's not that. But this person, I would classify this person as in the same category as a past grasshole. Remember at Simi Rant?
Yes, from the Josh Laura episode.
From the Josh Laura episode, yeah. A better gay. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, there's a ranking list online.
I'm very close.
Vote for me. Polls close tomorrow.
So I'm like I'm just negging him. Okay. So this week's grasshole is in the same category as Simi Rants. And I think, right, we've talked about it, and TikTok is not really it's like TV now. It is an entertainment thing. It is like captivating. Like it is like television. It is like all these things, right?
Sometimes I'll sit down to watch TV and that's my intention. And then I end up just watching TikTok.
TikTok for an hour.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
It's even more targeted and it's quicker, whatever. Anyway, so as we talk about how people kind of live posting their suffering, I was kind of thinking about if TikTok is this new form of entertainment, then the people who are super messy and super sloppy, it's like their own self-produced TLC reality show.
Yes.
Where everything is super messy and like the audience loves making fun of them. It's like my 1,000-pound sisters or like 90
I literally
Day
was immediately thinking 1,000-pound sisters.
Exactly. And like it's that whole category. And the grasshole today is someone who is the queen, I would say like one of the top creators of that category. And she's someone by the name of Ashley Trevino, a.k.a. the inmate hopper.
I'm already disturbed.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
I'm already, just the name alone, I'm not happy with where this is going.
Oh my gosh, I want her story. That's an amazing title, first of all. Like, for anything.
Her claim to fame is that she exclusively dates inmates. Awesome. People fresh out of prison. Men fresh out of prison.
Okay, so they're not currently in prison.
I think she starts at pen pal. She sees who's getting out first, and then she communicates, and then when they get out of jail,
she's grooming them.
And then she documents everything, and is kind of on live, kind of 24/7, every conversation going on live, and basically she became famous because she documented talking to this guy, went live with this this newly released inmate, and people were like, what the fuck is this woman's problem? Like, I would never do any of this, but it got so everyone's eating it up. She got super, and now she has about 150,000 TikTok followers. So one of she's very controversial for many ways, in the same way that Simi Rants is. She fat shaming, racist. She says she's Mexican, by the way. She just super problematic. She says some kind of victim blaming shit. She just whatever, which probably also fuels people and makes people feel comfortable into even watching her more. Yeah. Because they're like, well, she's a bad person, so I can call her ugly and fat too, because whatever.
TikTok doesn't differentiate between a hate watch view and a regular view, and engagement is engagement to them. I think there are some types of content where if they get wind you're doing it, they'll demonetize you. Yeah. But just pissing people off and being annoying, you're certainly allowed to make money off of that on TikTok.
So
one of our greatest pastimes.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the reasons that Ashley Trevino is controversial is that she allegedly facetunes the fuck out of her photos. So people say she's catfishing these inmates. So people are kind of pro inmates in this point. Also, Ashley has allegedly or something online said that she is voting for Trump. And I'm like, yeah, I guess she would want to, because there's going to be more people in prison, more bigger dating.
Well, the thing is, she is not a prison abolitionist.
No, she's not. because then people would not want to date her.
I'm like already just kind of pro on the side of the guys she's dating. I mean, I need to know more about them individually for sure, but I am just kind of like, it's one thing to do this once.
No,
it's another thing to do it a lot of times. And it does kind of feel like you're preying on someone who's like lonely and doesn't have a lot of options. And
that's kind of like the entire premise of the show Love After Lockup.
Yeah.
Is that like before it's these people who meet pen pals in jail. And then the whole time that they are talking and they're like getting ready for this guy to get out of jail or this woman to get out of jail, their friends are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This person's going to scam you. And then the person gets out. And then you're like, no, like the actual scammer, evil person is this person because they wanted someone in jail who doesn't have any power, who doesn't have any connection so that they can manipulate and control. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then they can like threaten to call the cops anytime they do, like they fight or something. It's kind of fucked up. Anyway, so if it wasn't dark before, it's dark. The Ashley Trevino story gets very dark because she has 2 teen daughters who she had with inmates. And she is constantly leaking her address on TikTok.
What?
She's constantly live and sharing where she is. She's always sharing where she is. If she's at a bar, she's on TikTok live and she's like, I'm at this bar. I'm at this bar. Blah, 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 blah. She's super, and on top of that, she's super reckless and talks shit about everyone. Like, and gets really incensed and all this stuff. So this Thanksgiving weekend, what we'll call is the El Paso incident. So Ashley Trevino was on TikTok basically live for like 48 consecutive hours. And she went to El Paso, which was like 700.
48 hours.
I just don't.
It's crazy.
I can't.
That is non-union.
That is very non-union. That is, I just don't know what I would do. Like, I don't want to be on TikTok live for 48 consecutive hours, but you do make a lot of money on TikTok live.
Is she awake?
Yeah, I mean, she's just like there, like you got to think of everything. Like you wake up, so she drove like 700 miles to spend time with some woman who she met on TikTok. I don't know if it was like the full 48, but like the majority, like I would say 18-hour days or something. She's on TikTok.
She's on TikTok live. And you make a lot of money doing TikTok lives. That's one of like the big ways you can make money on TikTok. And I never watch lives, but
people do watch them because again, it's a live reality show. Anyway, she went to El Paso to spend some time with a woman that she met on TikTok. She did not know her. They connected on TikTok and she went to this woman's house, brought her 2 teen daughters there, and she live streamed everything, like leaked the address. It's really disturbing. This woman had her like husband there and they got in a big fight. All of it was on TikTok live. All of it was on TikTok live. She got it, like it gets really dark, but this is not why she got grass hold. Like she's just a messy bitch. But basically she talks shit about a bunch of people and she's been talking shit for weeks. So she has been live streaming all weekend. I guess she forgot. She goes to a bar in El Paso.
Are these people she's talking shit about, like this woman or people in her life?
She's talking shit about other TikTok creators.
Okay.
And being like, you're ugly, you're whatever, this and that, you're whatever, you're fucking stupid. I'll beat your ass, this and that. So she gets drunk on TikTok live and goes to a bar. And she keeps leaking the bar. Like, oh, I'm at Rum and Cigars bar. I'm at Rum and Cigars bar. She didn't know that one of her like biggest enemies, Mariposa Torres.
Okay. Someone I wouldn't fuck with just off rip.
Lives in El Paso. So while Ashley's on live, Mariposa Torres posts this. Brandon, do you want to read this?
Sure. Waking up and finding out Ash Trevino is in my city, El Paso. Like, what's up, girl?
So basically, she's like,
okay,
Ash Trevino's in my city.
And I'm going to find her.
Her.
Oh my God.
I'm going to find her. So she found her. And it was, and this is yet another case of someone who got their ass beat on TikTok Live.
Oh my God.
So ass beat on TikTok Live. We're going to watch 2 short videos and then talk about it. We're going to watch one, which is Mariposa Torres recapping what happened in the fight, and then Ashley kind of responding to the fight.
Okay, great.
So then I go down and I turn like boom to my left and this bitch is right there. So I fucking go and I fucking go up to her and I just, this is me. I was like, so you told me to pull out? what's up? And then her friend, dude, literally like started putting her fucking foot on my fucking stomach. But little did she know, first of all, that bodyguard that she's supposedly carrying, that guy, he's like an older dude. Like, bro, this guy's like skinnier than me. And he's fucking scrawny and short. I took my brother-in-law, which he's like a fucking 6 foot fucking motherfucker, you know? So I took him with me. And I was like, yo, like, you're gonna go. You know, this guy had a bottle in his hand. But he literally, dude, at first, this guy literally said, what's up to me? He's like, what's up? Thinking I was like her fan or whatever, you know? Because I guess like earlier somebody, I don't know who the fuck went to her house, asked for her autograph or something. So literally, he fucking was like, what's up? And he tried to hug me. And I'm like, nah, homie, you know, like, no. And so I'm telling her, what's up, you know? Like, so I'm going over there near her, and her friend's putting her foot, like, on my stomach, okay? She's putting her foot on my stomach. So I fucking grab her, you know? I'm grabbing her, like, for her to move her. And Ash starts getting up. So I, boom, moved to the side. And I went, bro, I fucking grabbed her hair, boom, snatched that bitch. Bro, tell me why her fucking hair feels like fucking grass, bro. I literally fucking grabbed it, and it ripped off. Like, there was no getting this girl. Like, no getting her. Like, literally her hair, like, boom, like, ripped the fuck off. I was like, what the fuck? So I, like, go like this to swing, and her fucking, like, I'm, like, you know, ready shit. And then her fucking, the guards, the people that check your ID there, the bodyguards, they, like, grab me. They're like, no, you know, for me to leave and whatever. They're pulling me out. They're pulling.
That's not what we mean by go touch grass. But let's just hear now Ashley's response to this.
You pulled my fucking hair, you dumbass hoe. You didn't pull nothing out, but you pulled it. So I give you that. Right. You got to touch my hair. I hope you thought it was soft because it's cute and it's colored. But, bitch, I don't have a bald spot or nothing. I'm not missing none. So, I hope you like that. How many? Third off? Fourth off? Okay, fourth off. You're wearing a cowboy sweater. Bitch, they were fucking losing all season, okay? That's nothing to be proud of, okay? Fifth off, you're just ugly ass fuck. Okay? You're a fat ass fuck. When I say you're a fat bitch, you were really fat, okay? Like, bitch, I'm fat, but bitch, you were way fatter than me, okay? Like, y'all really want to fucking talk about me? Like, this bitch literally was like, you called me out here. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
So thoughts on leaking your address, getting your enemy to beat your ass on TikTok Live, and then making a review?
Do you want to go first? What are you thinking, Brendan?
Yeah, from like a third-wave feminist perspective, no, it was reckless from the start.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have an open house for anyone who wanted to whoop my ass to come through. I'm not holding office hours for someone to come beat my ass. I also love the fact that they're enemies, and the Mariposa pulled up, and the other girl was like, "Who are you?" I just been talking. She's been talking shit about her before, but she's like doesn't even know what she looks like.
Well,
can't recognize her.
Yeah, I'm like very interested in the like influencer economy that all of these women exist in, to like know each other enough to talk shit about each other, but not like I guess she's just talking so much shit that she doesn't even have a full record of all the people that she's talking shit about.
Right.
There was it was so interesting because she was on live so much. And again, it's the El Paso incident. You can like look it up. But like she was live so much and she was like talking shit like, ah. But then they have like the live footage of when Mariposa shows up and you can see Ashley like actually getting quiet and like being whatever. So when she felt the tension, like she's like, oh shit. But like, yeah, just completely.
It's ridiculous. It's also very funny for her to be adjudicating like who's fatter in her.
I know, yeah.
She's like, you're fat, I'm fat, but you're fatter than I'm fat. I'm like, what is going on? There's a lot of that happens, but it was just, I'm like, she just beat you up
ass.
on live.
Right.
Yeah,
and she's just like, I'm not bald and you're fatter than me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. And your team sucks. Like,
Yeah, that,
The
oh my God,
Cowboys
that was so
suck.
funny. I'm just like, I feel like people wear team jerseys not to be like, because they're
Right,
repping
yeah.
their home or wherever they're from. Like, I don't think, I don't know.
There's just so much here. This is also like Simi rants where it's like the lore, like for every one video that Ashley posts, there's like 50 of people hating on her, whatever. Like that's a whole deep dive that you can go into. She's like super problematic. But I just think that as more people, first of all, I'm trying to think of like ethically, right? Like this reality TV versus self-produced reality TV. But I feel like the reality TV, like the editors, the story producers, because there's tons of people that make a reality show happen, they can edit like all this footage into a narrative that is ultimately making a point or saying like this is wrong or this is fucked up or cutting it in a way that whatever. So like for you to be like the director and the creator to be also the subject is really interesting. But also like I feel like we're gonna see a lot more people get their ass beat on TikTok Live.
I mean, we've covered 2 in 2 weeks.
Wow, I didn't know we were on the verge.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
on
what
the
you're
verge.
showing us.
We've covered 2 in 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
I do see the reality show connection because Vanderpump Rules is ending, or the
Mhm.
original cast, they're
Yes.
rebooting. And back in the Vanderpump Rules golden days, they would beat the shit out of each other, these
Yeah.
people. Stassi hit Kristen,
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Sandoval hit Jax, and then very famously, Tom Schwartz, who is my enemy, and it's
He's
one
probably the
way,
worst
but
way.
Yeah.
he's my personal enemy.
You show up and beat his ass.
If
Yeah.
he said, "Here I am on TikTok Live," I'm the one showing up. To
The new incident.
So be aware, Tom Schwartz, because I will pull up.
Yeah.
I will be the one. But
Oh my
he
gosh.
poured a drink on Katie Maloney.
On his wife.
I
Thank
think she
you.
was his girlfriend at that
Oh.
point, but you still shouldn't pour a drink on her.
Yeah.
He poured a drink on her. And then they didn't get it on camera, and so production had him do it again.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. There's like a really funny scene in a TLC show because like there's this girl. I think it's like a mixed weight couple, which already
right.
like whatever, but the girl's fat and the guy was not fat. So then they showed this video of like them walking down the street and then somebody yells out of a car, "You fat bitch." And then somebody on Twitter comments is like, "This is TLC, so you know they casted and paid the guy to say, 'You fat bitch' to this woman."
Yeah.
Like that is totally a role. Yeah.
IMDb credit. Yeah.
IMDb credit. But yeah, I think like we might get, first of all, Simi got her ass beat on TikTok Live, deserved it. This woman got her ass beat on TikTok Live, deserved it. But it's also like, it's the post, it's like them trying to recreate the narrative and retake the power from them seeing themselves like disempowered on their own channel. So then Simi was like, she did that silent scrapbooking thing.
Disempowered on your own channel is a powerful turn of phrase. You've got 2.
I got 2.
Life is
Life
lore,
is lore.
and
Lore.
disempowered from your own channel.
Disempowered on your own channel
Yeah.
where you're the director, creator, subject, and you get your ass beat. Like that's the ultimate form of getting disempowered. So like they try to take back the narrative. Simi did that like weird scrapbooking thing, and then this woman just like, "Oh yeah, well, at least I'm thinner than you, and also
Which
you're
I'm not
ugly."
even convinced of. Sorry, by seeing both of their videos, they seem to look very similar.
No, Mariposa Torres. I would say the eyebrows are thinner on Mariposa Torres. And don't beat my ass.
Yeah,
Don't
please
beat my
don't.
ass.
Right.
We will not be saying where the HeadGum studio
And
is.
I will never go to El Paso. Like I will never pull up to your city, Mariposa Torres.
So we're getting drinks tonight after this. Anyone's invited. I want to know who threw the first hit.
Oh, Mariposa Torres did. Mariposa said she went up and her friend was like with her foot.
Yeah, right. Because she said that the girl's friend kept trying to put her foot on her stomach.
Because so she was coming close, and I think she grabbed the hair, felt like grass. Hashtag go touch grass. And then hashtag Beige stories matter. And then she, whatever. And then the the bouncers of rum and cigars at El Paso said, "Hey guys, knock it off."
It is funny when she's like, and then the bouncers showed up. I'm like, yeah, no, they're gonna do that.
Right, yeah.
They're definitely gonna do that. You had like T-minus 30 seconds before the bouncers were gonna bounce you for that for sure.
So, any other commentary on this?
I feel like there's been a lot of girl on girl crime in this episode.
Yeah, knock it off.
Knock it off. Hey, scram.
Did you watch footage of the fight? I know we don't want to air it out now because children listen to this podcast.
Yeah, for all the children.
Yeah, for all the children. I saw like before and after, like, on X and stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you later, Brandon. I know you definitely want it. You're wretched.
Yeah, I want to watch the comfort of that in my own home.
Yeah.
I will probably not post that on the Go Touch Grass Instagram.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I meant in the
Elise got
comfort of my own
mad that
home,
I wanted to post one Drake's hog. No, that I
didn't get mad. We actually almost got our Instagram
We got our
deactivated
Instagram
because
deactivated.
Millie DM'd someone Drake's hog. Let's tell the story for real.
Listen.
Millie DM'd full dick.
As we learned, Drake is litigious.
I know, but the dick, like, people asked, our audience asked, "Where's the nude?" And I said, "Well, I have it." And then we almost got banned. But if you look up Drake's nude, it's the first page.
I've seen it. Yes.
Also, you saw it.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I want to participate in America. I saw Drake's nude.
And also, there was a meme of somebody went to go see that lesbian wrestling movie with Kristen Stewart.
Oh.
And he like jogged.
Thank
Love
you.
Lives Bleeding. Thank you. Research assistant. Gay research assistant.
Representation matters.
Yeah, representation matters. And he had his dick out and he fell asleep after he masturbated. And I thought it was a funny meme. And Elise said, "Don't post that in our newsletter."
You could see the dick and
also the cocaine and
there was a little cum on the dick. Like it was a graphic image.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if Patreon has rules against us including a link to a picture of a dick with a tiny bit of residual cum on it.
Trump won.
This is
Yeah.
I just don't know what the rules are.
All you can do is provide people with resources, links, affiliate links, and empower them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Embolden
and that's
them.
the way I got disempowered.
We were really almost disempowered on our own platform.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. So
we love an underdog narrative though.
Yeah, well, always. For the crime of leaking where you are, talking shit, leaking where you are, getting your ass beat on TikTok Live, and then doing a completely false post-mortem.
Yeah.
Ash Trevino, go touch grass.
Also being fat phobic about it.
Fat phobic, I mean, clearly, but
But yeah, she's got to go touch grass.
I want to hear from the friends too.
I would love to hear
the Tia?
from them.
Yeah.
The friend that she met on Thing. That woman,
I need some B plots now.
The B plot is crazy because there was a domestic violence incident that Ashley got on fucking camera, and people are like, "Why are you still on TikTok Live?"
Yeah.
Not to bring it up again, but this is where they should source the new Vanderpump Rules cast from. Like
From
from like
Roman
people who are
cigars.
beating up and being beaten up on TikTok Live. Those are the types of people, if they want to even try to recreate the essence of the original VPR, that is where they're gonna have to
they
go.
have proof of concept.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. They'll go there.
Yeah, they can pick I don't know. I'm like, do you want someone who's already an influencer or do you want to make somebody new?
I think I want a good mix. Because also like those people that's a DIY production, right? Like let's get some money in there. Let's get some stunt professionals.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because now at this point, like when Vanderpump Rules started, the goal was to be on reality TV. But now it's hard to pull influencer away from aspiring reality TV.
Yeah.
They're all, the Venn diagram is very close to a circle, if not a full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, someone's got to share those affiliate links.
Someone's got to share.
Brandon, where can we find you online?
Yeah, where are your affiliate links?
Yeah.
Affiliate links.
Yeah. So please follow me because I will get a kickback from CEOs everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Brandon_Follick. I'm on X at Follick Acid. however long that lasts.
Okay,
Not
that's
X.
cute.
I know. Sorry, Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok at all?
And my address
Yeah,
is.
Where can you pull up if they want to beat you up?
Yeah.
Honestly, Metropolitan.
Yeah. I'll be
Oh,
in Metropolitan.
sorry, Rosemont. Rosemont, how dare I?
Guys.
Damn, you really are blowing up my spot. Edit that out. We'll be at the Harry Potter store.
Yeah.
In Union Square.
Yeah, pull up. I'll be at the Harry Potter store.
Beat her ass with the chocolate one.
Yeah, I'll pour a butterbeer on you.
Yeah. Oh, can we do it again? We didn't get the shot.
We didn't get it. I'll actually have to pour another butterbeer on you. Guys, you can follow this podcast at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything. Remember, you can DM us your questions for the mailbag episode or email us at gotouchgrasspod@gmail.com. And you can follow me at Pandalise on Insta, Elise Navidad on TikTok, and just my name on Blue Sky if you're doing the Blue Sky thing.
Yes, you can follow me. We're doing the Blue Sky thing. You can follow me at Millie_Tamares on Instagram and TikTok, at Millie Tamares on X, and Millie Tamares on Blue Sky. I said last week, if I plugged my Blue Sky. I said if I get 10 likes, I will get a success spell from an Etsy witch, which you can buy. And 14 people liked it.
Wow. So
Nice.
that's a lot of success.
So
Bountiful.
right now, maybe we'll do a poll on our Go Touch Grass Instagram on which Etsy witch I should get my success spell.
You
from.
should do the poll. You should do the spell live. Go
And I
live.
should go live for the spell.
Go live for the
shit.
spell.
On
Don't say where. Don't say where or when, but just go live for the spell.
Oh,
Do
don't
it.
say my address.
Yeah, don't say your personal address.
No, but I should go live when I get the spell.
Yeah,
That's smart.
yeah.
Yeah. So tell me which I should pick. There's a lot of them and they have good reviews.
Alphaba, Glinda.
Yeah. You definitely want Alphaba. Glinda doesn't know it. Glinda can't do any magic.
I have a theory. We're going to talk
we'll
offline.
We'll talk after, but I'm getting my spell from Alphaba.
Yeah.
She can
okay.
do the Grimmery.
True.
Anyway.
See, but they didn't talk about what the fuck the Grimmery was in that. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
You didn't listen to the Wizomania sequence.
Sorry, I'm outnumbered. Guys,
The Grimmery is just written in English. Like, that's the. Yeah.
Millie's trying to end the
Vowels,
podcast
vowels.
desperately, but she invoked
Please.
wicked lore.
No, Lord is
No.
live.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody.
Until next time, go touch grass.
That was a HeadGum podcast.
Hi, I'm Caleb Heron, host of the So True podcast, now on HeadGum. Every week, me and my guests get into it and we get down to what's really going on. I ask them what's so true to them, how they got to where they are in life, a bunch of other questions, and we also may or may not test their general trivia knowledge, whether it's one of my sworn enemies like Brittany Broski or Drew Wallow, or my actual biological mother, Kelly. My guests and I are just after the truth, and if we find it, great, and if not, no worries. So subscribe to So True on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch video episodes on the So True with Caleb Heron YouTube channel. New episodes drop every Thursday. Love ya.